Hello my dear students, how are you all? I hope you all are safe and healthy at your homes and enjoyed your summer vacation. Now students, welcome back to the online classes of St. Joseph's Academy for class 5th, subject Social Studies, chapter 4, part 2, Evolution of Transport, prepared by Durga Thapa. Students, let's begin our lesson Evolution of Transport part 2. Now in the previous part 1, we have studied about the invention of the wheel and the beginning of transport. And we have also gone through the transportation in the Middle Ages. Now in this we are going to study about the modern means of transportation. So our today's topic is modern means of transportation. Now my dear students, as you can see in this slide, there's a picture of aeroplane, cycle, car, bus, ship, metro. So students, what are all these? Yes, all these are the modern means of transportation. Now students, means of transportation have evolved tremendously over the period of time, and even the far off places can be reached within the time span of few hours. If we want to go to abroad, we have to travel only for few hours. And with the advancements in science and technology, quicker means of transport have been made to travel on road, water, air, from everywhere. Okay, so students, the transportation is divided into two parts. That means land transport, water transport and air transport. So here let's begin the land transport. Now students, again the land transport is divided into two parts. The first one is road transport and the next one is rail transport. Yes, so students, land transport includes roads and railways. It covers the land-based transportation system that provides for the movement of people, goods, services, etc. Now students, India has the largest network of the roads in the world. Do you know that? Yes, it is correct that India has the largest network of roads in the world, and we should be proud of it. Now students, tell me what you can see on this slide. Yes, you can see truck, school bus, ambulance, bicycle, again the bus, taxi, police car and the mixer. So students, what are all these? Yes, very good. All these are the road transport. Fast means of transport like cars, buses, scooters and trucks need pakka roads. Such roads are made up of stone and the coal tar. As you know that, as all of you have seen that the roads are always in black in color. So why they are black? Yes, because they are the pakka road and the black color is because of the coal tar. Coal tar is black in color, so when we use the coal tar on the roads, roads also seems to be black. And we have a large network of pakka roads in our country. These roads connect all the important cities. Okay? Yes. Now students, pakka roads are divided into three parts. So the first one is national highways, second is state highways, and the third one is district roads. Yes. Now, what are the national highways? National highways and the state highways are the surface roads. Yes, and the national highways connect state capitals and the important cities in India. So, we are living in Uttar Pradesh. Suppose we want to go to Uttarakhand, we want to go to Himachal Pradesh, we want to go to Delhi. So, we have to take the national highways because national highways connect the state capitals. That means it will connect Lucknow to Bihar. So, it will also connect, so national highways always connect the capitals and the important cities in India. Yes, the next one are the state highways. Now, what are the state highways? Yes, the state highways connect important cities, towns and district headquarters within a state. They serve as a feeder to the national highways. Yes, suppose we want to go to the next district. Suppose we are living in Ghaziabad district and we want to go to Meerut or Muradnagar or some other districts. So we have to take the state highways because this will lead to the these state highways connect the important cities and towns and the district headquarters within the state. That means they are a part of state, but they can be also a part of national highways, and they serve as a feeder to the national highways. So national highways are the 8-lane flyovers or roads. They are very good connectivity and they connect to the other state capitals. But state highways always connect the important cities of a state. Like Ghaziabad will connect with Meerut, Muradnagar, Faridabad and Delhi also. That means the next state. So all state highways always they serve as a feeder to the national highways. The third one is district roads. Yes, district roads connect the important towns of a district with the district headquarters in the state. Yes, students. Now, district roads are the small roads. They connect the villages and the towns and the important districts of and they also connect the district headquarters in a state. Suppose we are living in Uttar Pradesh. So, all the district of the Uttar Pradesh, or that means Uttar Pradesh, they will connect through the district roads. And students, some roads that connect our land borders with the rest of the country are called the border roads. Yes, because they connect the borders with the other parts. Yes, the highest road in the world is the Leh-Manali road. It runs from Manali in Himachal Pradesh to Leh in Ladakh region of Kashmir. And all the militarians, those who go to the China border, they always, the military soldiers always go through this Leh-Manali road. Okay. Yes, students, what you can see on the screen? Yes, you can see a train. Yes, students. So here, land transport was divided into two parts. The first one is land transport and the next one is the rail transport. Yes, and you can see the train, two trains on your screen. So railways are the ideal and the important means of long transport. Yes, so distance transport. If we have to cover a long distance, the railway is the important and the ideal and the cheapest means of transport. In India, the first train steamed off from Mumbai to Thane in 1853, covering a distance of 34 kilometers. Yes, and it was started by the Britishers. The train is a gift from the Britishers to us. Yes, and now we have the largest network in Asia. Do you know that? Yes, so we have the largest railway network in Asia and the fourth largest network of rail in the world. Yes, crores of passengers use it for going to far places. If we have to travel a long distance in India, this is the best one and the cheapest one. That means these are the cheapest transport. Rail is the cheapest and the best transport for the long distance. Okay. Yes, students. Now this is the picture of a train that is carrying the heavy and bulky goods. Yes. So railway help in carrying heavy and bulky goods. It includes coal, minerals, food grains, fertilizers, cement, and many other ready-made garments and many other goods. The longest railway route is between Jammu Tawi in the north to Kanyakumari in the south. Yes, students, it can be traveled in less than 2 days. And some trains like Tejas, Rajdhani and Shatabdi Express run at very fast speed. Now students, do you know that the Indian Railway has the fourth largest rail network in the world? Yes, and it comprises 65,436 kilometer route covering about 7,500 stations. Yes, and the Tejas Express is the fastest train of our country. As the name shows, Tejas, that means fastest. So this is the fastest train of our country, that is the Tejas Express. Yes, it attains a maximum speed of 160 km per hour. However, it is capable of running at the speed of 200 km per hour. Next part of the land transport is a very important transport, that is metro railway system. Yes, Kolkata has an underground railway called the metro. Yes, it was started first in Kolkata in India and its operation began on 24 October 1984. So, metro was first started in Kolkata in India on 24 October 1984, and Delhi is the second city in India to have the metro rail. Its operation began on 24 December 2002. Yes, the metro railway system is used to travel within a city, but now it is also covering the two states. Yes, suppose for example, Delhi metro is now reached to Mathura also, and it also reached to Ghaziabad, and it's going to reach Meerut city. So it is expanding its arms. The Delhi metro is the world's 12th largest system. Yes, Delhi metro is the world's 12th largest system. Do you know its total length was 280 km and the number of stations were 164, but now this was the data of 2016 and 17. It is increased a lot with the kilometers also and with the numbers of stations also. Yes, it has been certified by the United Nations as the first metro rail in the world to obtain carbon credits for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. That means it is a type of eco-friendly also. Its annual ridership is about 1001 million passengers, and this was the data of 2016 and 17. And there are other cities in India where the metro operations have already begun. That means Faridabad, Mathura and Meerut. So all these are the other stations where other cities where the metro is coming soon. Okay. Yes, students, the next transportation is the air transport. Now, as you can see, there are different air transportations are there: helicopter, glider, hot air balloon, aeroplane, and so many others. Yes, so air transport is the fastest means of transport. If we have to reach to some place, aeroplane is the fastest. Air transportation is the fastest transport means of transport. Yes, and it is one of the most advanced and developed means of transportation also, because it helps to reach places where roads and railways cannot reach, like jungles, desert, mountainous areas. So, but travel by air is comfortable but costly. As you know that it is costly also. It is comfortable, it is fastest, but it is costly. Students, this is the picture of helicopter. Yes, helicopter can land in small areas and are useful in mountains and the terrain. Airways are useful during the disasters for providing rescue operations like flood or volcanic eruption, landsliding, where all the transportation that means the air transport or aeroplane is destroyed, that means the airports are destroyed, roadways are destroyed. So an aeroplane need a very small space to stand, so it will be very helpful. So helicopter is very helpful for the rescue operations, for the rescue purpose. All the major cities of India are well connected with the air transport. Yes, students, an airport from where flights take off to different countries is known as an international airport. And this is the picture of an international airport. And students, do you know there are 17 international airports and 88 domestic aerodromes in our country? Yes, and some of the important airports in India are Chhatrapati Shivaji Airport at Mumbai, Indira Gandhi International Airport at Delhi, which is very near to us, Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport at Kolkata, and Kanambakkam at Chennai. So all these are the very important international airports. Yes, students, and now in Ghaziabad also we are having a airport, that is Hindan Airport. Yes, but it is a domestic airport only. Last but not the least is the water transport. Yes, students, as you can see in this picture, these are all different kinds of water transport. They are the means of water transport. Yes, boat, yacht, ship, submarine, and so on. So all these are the water transport. The progress of a country largely depend on a good water transport network. Do you know why? Okay, so we will get to know it. In the 80s, in 1800s, the first steamboats were developed using a steam engine to drive a pedal wheel to move the ship. But it was very difficult. The steam was produced using coal or wood. Now, most ships have an engine to produce the steam. So, water transport also slowly and gradually get the modernization. And yes, although slow, modern sea transport is a highly effective method of transporting large quantity of non-perishable goods. Yes, so let us see. Yes, students, this is a ship and this is full of the containers, and these containers are full of goods, that means non-perishable goods. Yes, so this is a slow, but the modern sea transport is a highly effective method of transporting large quantities. Yes. So students, nearby 7,517 kilometer long coastline of India is dotted with 13 major ports and 200 non-major ports. So do you know, this is very important that you should know that India has the 13 major ports. Yes, now what is port? Yes students, so what do you mean by port? Yes, this is a picture of port. Port is a place where ships are kept. So ships are rested there. Ships used to rest there. Uploading and unloading, all types of work is done at the port. Yes. So students, we are having 13 major ports, that is international ports, and 200 non-major ports. Yes. So India has the largest merchant shipping fleet among the developing countries. Yes, India has the largest merchant shipping fleet among the developing countries. The main 13 ports in India are at Kolkata, Pradeep, Visakhapatnam, Chennai, Ennore, Tuticorin, Port Blair, Cochin, New Mangalore, Morbigaon, Mumbai, Jawaharlal Nehru Port and Kandla. So these are the 13 major ports of India, and there are 200 non-major ports other than these 13 major ports. Now students, a developed water transport system greatly helped the country in international trade. Why? Because goods can be carried cheaply for exchange and trade. As you can see in this picture, this is a picture of a port. So many ships are uploaded and unloaded. So because of this, the trade is, and the ships are very important. The ports are very important for the international trade because this is the cheapest means of carrying transport. Yes, the different means of transport system has made our life more comfortable and advanced. Yes, this is very true. We are using all these three kinds of transport, that is air transport, land transport and the water transport, which makes our life comfortable and easier. Thank you, my dear students. I hope you all understood this lesson very well, and it will also enhance your knowledge. Thank you once again. Have a nice day.